Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exhilarating episode of our podcast. Um, don't all rush to join us too quickly because we might have problems with the response time. But he says,
What?
he says jokingly. Um, anyhow, we've got an interesting topic today. And good morning, Desi. How are you?
Hello, Chris. I'm very well, thank you. Looking
Good.
forward to this topic.
Yeah, so it's one that you may or may not be told or have done, but I think you probably have, and that is, what do we mean actually when we say you're intelligent when we're speaking to someone, or that person is intelligent, or or they're really intelligent. Yeah, those people are really intelligent. What do we actually mean by it? Because if you decouple, the sort of disassemble it, what we're saying is you're intelligent, and then compared to what gives you the ability to say this, you're intelligent, or it might even be you're clever. They're different things, but you're intelligent. How are we actually arriving at that statement? Because there has to be a comparison, doesn't there? Otherwise, you wouldn't need to say it, would you? If you're saying someone's intelligent, you're measuring them.
You're
They've done
coming
some,
from
yeah.
your own tower and looking out to see the other person, and you think, "Oh yeah, they're intelligent."
Now,
Mm.
this was brought to my attention, right, when I started work in London when I was 18. I was working for a guy in a company, a software company. We were writing software programs, and I was assigned as a Padawan to, to a guy called Rod Nixon, who was an Irish guy, and he was probably 26 at the time, and I was 18 or
18.
19,
Mm-hmm.
and um, he was a he was quite an interesting character. He used to get very, very drunk as well, but he never
At
used to.
work.
No, well, after work, he used to go to have 4 pints, and he used to appear quite drunk at 4 pints. But then at 14, he wasn't any different. Do you know what I mean? It was like he was a very bizarre character, right? But he was a man of few words as well. He was, like, if you said something stupid, he wouldn't even answer. He would just look at you and then just move on.
Well, acknowledge that I heard you, but come on,
And he'd go,
go think about what you just said.
he would look at you and he'd go, and he'd just walk off. And at that point, you knew what you'd said was, and it's a bit like sometimes I do it. It's like, are you just trying to make conversation for conversation's sake? Uh, and I really haven't got anything to say about this, so I just walk off. I do it quite a bit here. And if you might understand the import of that statement, but and then the other thing that he used to do was, he said this. He said, when you say someone's intelligent or someone's clever, he said, what you're really doing is comparing it with yourself. So I don't say people are intelligent or they're clever, he said, because I don't think it's necessary for me to to say that. He said, I have no idea whether they're more intelligent than me or not. And to say you're intelligent is a comparison with yourself.
Hmm.
Therefore, I don't feel the need to say it. I tell you now, it is a little thing that triggers me. You probably noticed this when we go around my daughters. People say, "Oh, they're intelligent or they're clever," and I'm going, "Well, they're not really." And this brings on to they're not really. And they go, "Oh, what are you saying? They're thick." they're stupid. No, I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is, that as a human being, we have the ability to select and filter what we want to do, and everything that we're good at is basically because we practiced it and created a habit of it, and that habit has evolved into something which has become either excellent or very good or whatever. So and you can liken it to table tennis. I'm not like intelligent or clever because I play table tennis, although I do believe it requires some certain qualities in an individual to be able to play the game well. Everybody could get to a certain level without those qualities if they practice long enough, right? And you could get above average, for example. Like your painting behind you and your drawings, you have a propensity to enjoy that to doing that. Consequently, you do it often and you practice, and the more you practice, the better you get. Gary Player, the golfer, he used to say, like, he said, people say to me, I'm lucky. He said, but you know what? The more I practice, the luckier I get.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. And it's a similar thing. Like, if you enjoy it, then you prepare to allocate time to it. If you allocate time to it, you improve. And you learn from your mistakes and you get better, and you allocate more time to it, or you can do more in the time you do allocate to it, and consequently you evolve the thing. This doesn't mean intelligence or clever, does it?
That means you had the persistency and perseverance of keeping going for the 10,000 hours that requires for one to become proficient in any activity that they decide to do.
But that is the consequence. And the consequence of it is highlighting something you enjoy and deciding to give it time.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, like you mentioned these pictures behind me, but I only started drawing a year and a half, 2 years ago. And before that, I never really, I did paint a few years back. I did paint 2 paintings with oil paints. And it was interesting to notice that I had this belief that I'm not a painter, I'm not an artist, therefore I can't use oil paints because they are for artists and I am not an artist. So how did I decide that I'm not an artist? I don't know, because don't do art.
You're not doing it.
Why don't I do art? Oh, because you have more important things to do than art. You need to be a mom, you need to be this, you need to be that. So that's how I ended up not drawing, not painting, not developing this thing that I really enjoyed drawing and painting when I was young. And then it got drummed out of me. But we're going in a different direction here, so let's stay on track. How did we come up with this topic today? Because I said to you, oh yes, you know better because you're intelligent. I said that to you, Chris, and then you said, oh, for God's sake, I am not. Who are you comparing me with? Why are you saying this? And so what aspect are you comparing me to yourself to be telling me that I'm more intelligent or I'm intelligent? Like you are intelligent.
But like, it's an interesting question, that. But what do you mean when you say to someone you're intelligent? Apart from being a comparison with your ability to do whatever it is that's evoked this sentence, but what is intelligence as opposed to clever? Because people use the same, they use the two terms interchangeably, and they're not, are they?
No, they're not. And maybe it's not up to us to decide on this, but when I think about what I meant when I said you're more intelligent, you know best, was what I meant that you have read a lot and you've applied to your life. This was my interpretation of what that meant this is the meaning I put in it. You're more intelligent, you know better, because what I didn't say next was because you have read a lot and you've applied a lot and you've had experience.
Well, so it's an interesting question, isn't it? Clever seems to. People say he's really clever, she's really clever because they went to university and they've learned loads, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's to do with the brain capacity to store and to process. And intelligence is probably more of a creative part. I don't know.
yeah, and I would agree with that. Intelligence is the ability to imagine or create or to produce something from nothing. I think that's
Yeah, so that's that application element. What I meant was applying what you've read and learned now in real
and
life.
creative.
See how it works and kind of manipulate it in a be more. It's like this part of the computer that knows how to access different parts in in different scenarios. It will know where to go, what to find, and how to what is useful in a certain situation.
Well, a computer is based on programming by human beings, so an intelligence is not that, is it? Intelligence has to be the capability to take something and then create something bigger from the input, which doesn't exist. So, in real terms, we're all doing it. Like I've taken input from a whole variety of sources, parents, yeah, and very often I've discounted it. I said, okay, that was good for them. It's not good for me. I'm doing something else. And then I've taken other things like input, like you've got oils, and you're doing this um, drawing and other inputs, psyche and stuff like this. And like it could be that someone really likes psyche, they go off and do psyche. I don't want to go off and do psyche. It's not. I know someone who does psyche. It's covered.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to go and I don't need to go and duplicate that work, right? People work best together when they're doing complementary things, not replacing each other. That's daft, in my opinion. Yeah, you have to be able to understand oils, because if you don't, you won't know which ones to have. So it's like, and I don't want to keep going back to you and going, like, can you tell me? It's like I'm laboring something which actually, for minimal effort, I can do it myself. But it's not replacing you, or it's basically benefiting from that connection and being able to use oils in a way which is improving my life. Like that. I would say that's intelligence. Is I'm creating my life. It's the only one. I'm the only one doing it because I'm the only me. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody else is taken. They're doing their own thing, right? I can't create someone else. I can only create what's right. So I would say that like we're all doing it at different levels. It doesn't mean that someone's more intelligent than others. They may be more inspired than others because they get excited about new things, they get excited about learning things, and they get excited about adopting new approaches to assist them in whatever they're choosing to do in their life. Now, I'd probably say to create their own life. I would say that's probably, like what intelligence is, and we all do it in different degrees. But there's no one more intelligent than anybody else, because it's like comparing bananas and oats, porridge oats. It's like it's they're both food, but that's about as far as you can say. There's no other sensible comparison.
So it's in a way it's a judgment when we say, oh, somebody's intelligence is placing a judgment in a way that's like the opposite of, oh, you're stupid or you're intelligent. It's a positive way of judging. and also putting yourself down.
Yeah,
Because
so
you're saying, oh,
it's the
if
same
you're
thing.
intelligent means I'm not.
Yeah, like I don't love myself enough to claim that I'm anything, but that person over there, and they may have a vested interest. It might be a child, of theirs, right? So here they are trying to say, "Oh, I'm rubbish," but we produce something amazing,
Yeah.
right? So there's this pride in this. Oh, we've managed to create this amazing human being, and nothing wrong with being proud in your taking pride in your kids, really, as long as it's under control. Like you're not putting other people down because you're just pushing your offspring forward all the time. But if you say something like somebody else, what you say? Are you trying to get? If you said someone else's child is intelligent, are you trying to curry favor with their parents?
Or compare your child to theirs, which is even worse. Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah, well,
stupid. Look, because children get these subliminal messages very well.
oh,
Um,
and they take them into their childhood, their adulthood,
they're
and
out
they,
of yeah.
if someone
And then
says, "Well,
there's another one then. Oh, how this is so stupid what you're doing now. I thought you were intelligent. There's another aspect. Oh, you're intelligent. Like this doesn't my belief about you doesn't correspond with my appreciation of what you're doing right now.
yeah," and that comes, and what does that? What? Why is that? Why is that stated? It's stated because of a lack of understanding about why someone's doing what they're doing. Because if you think it's stupid, like people don't go around going, "Oh, I think I'll do something stupid today." Uh,
No, not just today. For 2 or 3 years, I'm gonna now start doing stupid things.
exactly. It's like, what's this? Some kind of self-destruction thing going on here. It's like there has to be a reason for it, doesn't there? And the problem is most people don't actually take the time to understand if they want to, but don't then comment that it's stupid if you're not prepared to take the time to learn why it's happening. Just don't say anything. It's better than it's better than
Labeling.
being derogatory about it. And uh, yeah, that's a big problem. So that's comparing with you. So it's like they're doing something different to me, and I don't understand it. Therefore, it's not what I would do. Therefore, they're stupid. And
They should know all the information that I know, that I've chosen to behave in this particular way because of all the information I've got, and they also have the same information that I've got because they're intelligent, and now they're doing something completely different. I thought they were intelligent. What's happened?
what have they done? Abdicated intelligence for 3 years, just kind of. But for what reason? So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. And I mean, I'm the trouble is, right, and this is another point here is that in your lack of offering this this statement, "Oh, you're really intelligent, you are, or you're really clever," you get accused, or certainly I have been accused, of being a little bit conservative in giving praise to other people. Um,
But at school, we are taught not to do it that way because this creates a fixed mindset.
and it also creates ego, and it also creates.
And then when the people are not allowed to make mistakes, to be vulnerable because they're supposed to be intelligent. And if they believe they're intelligent, but they actually know that something is beyond them, and they have this expectation to fulfill of all the people around them who believe that they're intelligent, it makes them to not want to do things that they consider difficult. So they end up self-sabotaging because of that. They don't want to lose face and do something that is outside of their comfort zone because they might not put it through, and then they're going to be they want to live up to the expectations of all these people who have created that mindset,
And this leads to
even to themselves
perfectionism.
as well, because I can't afford to be failing here because I'm supposed to be. They don't even know they're doing it. It's all subconscious.
It's risk management, isn't it? Like, I'm intelligent, I'm this person, I always like come through with the good scores or whatever, then now you're asking me to do something which I know I'm not practiced or well or good at. And if I fail, what happens there is that I become vulnerable. And that
Yeah.
vulnerability punches through the glass building, and the whole thing can come crumbling down. If there's not such a thing here as self-love and self-confidence, and you know, basically you're not comfortable with yourself, because ultimately if you fail at something, well, what's the problem? We all failed at walking when we started. We got up and
Yeah.
we got up, we fell over, we got up, we fell
Mhm.
over. We didn't just suddenly say, oh, that's it, I'm done with walking, I'm just gonna crawl, crawl everywhere. Right?
But that's when we're talking about the type of praise. So if you didn't do praising as, oh, you're so intelligent, well done to you, that's great. That's how it should be. But if you're praising, oh, well done, you did this really well, this was a good behavior or good achievement, you solved this task really well, without the, oh, you're so clever, without that, then that's great praising. That creates a
Yeah.
very competent adult who can be intelligent without being told that they are.
Well, and also the other thing is when a kid learns, I mean, you know, that we had an example the other day. When a kid's doing something and they're being told they're intelligent, there's a lot of, like, I'm sure there's a lot of thinking, oh, you know, like, I'm I'm really intelligent. Those people who I respect are now telling me I'm amazing. So probably I'm better than them, because they're only going to be saying it if they think it's amazing. So suddenly I'm like, the old ego's sort of like being set up for a massive fall here, isn't it? Because now if they fail at something, it's like, oh, bloody hell, I thought I was like Wonder
That's
Man.
what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was Wonder Boy, a wonder person. And here I am now struggling with this, what I would consider to be a fairly simplistic task. And I'm struggling.
Like my
Right?
example with going from the small school where I was
Mm.
constantly praised to be very intelligent, amazing, can't do anything wrong, and then go to the big school where everybody else was a lot better than me. How do you
No,
live with
but
that? Oh,
yeah,
it's not.
they just had a different route. But you know, like, you rose to the challenge and worked harder to catch up. You know, that was because you were being pulled in that direction, whereas other people may have succumbed to that and just dropped out because the challenge was too great. You can either get pulled towards something or you get pushed away from fear. You know, like, that's two people do that, you're going to lose this and this and this. Oh shit, I better get on and do this then. And other people who say, really amazing, you know, if you carry on, you're going to be like champion here. Well, yeah, I want to do that. So one being pulled towards something, and the other's being pushed away from something. And people work in different ways, different mindsets. And it's important to know what it is. So if you take, you know, like my daughter, for example, you know, like, fear is the biggest. I think fear is the biggest thing, and yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to self love. You know, at the end of the day, is working hard on that.
It's all of it is self-love and a self-acceptance, trying to
Mm.
put away certain aspects of yourself that you don't think where you don't love yourself, you don't accept that you might be um well, it's the ego creating these elements and thinking that it's protecting you, but
It's an illusion,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, we're all what we are, and whether we're good at something or whether we're not good at something, it's up to us to decide whether it's important to us or not, or whether we change it, or whether we give the time to it. It's got nothing to do with anybody else, has it?
exactly.
How we feel about ourselves has got nothing to do with anybody else.
Hmm.
It's all to do with what we're talking about in our heads, this internal voice thing, which maybe is another subject for another day. But
Yeah,
it's never.
we're losing your picture, Chris. It's blurring. We are
I
still
lose it.
hearing your voice, but we are losing your picture from time to time. It gets blurry, then it catches up, then freezes,
Yeah,
and
it's saying my signal's not great.
yeah, maybe it's time to wrap this up then.
Yeah, maybe that's a signal. Yeah.
So that's what we were thinking about when we were talking about intelligence and you're clever, you're intelligent. So let us know what you think. Have you had this experience as you were growing up that you were constantly being praised for being intelligent? And so now you think that you can't be doing anything that's outside of your comfort zone because then you'll lose this description of, oh, I'm clever, I'm intelligent, therefore, ... Let us know how you do it. How do you go around and thinking other people are intelligent because you're not? Or you think you are not, but it's all about perception.
So don't forget to subscribe. There's,
Yeah.
hit the bell to get regular updates. And yeah, we've got some interesting
And
topics.
share it with your friends. If you found this useful, maybe someone else will also find it useful as well. So share
Do
it.
the intelligent thing and share it.
Thank you for watching.
Okay, bye now. Bye.